Hello everyone, Jester Bell is here, and today I'm doing a topic a little bit more off the beaten trail because I haven't talked about this character in a very long time. Harley Quinn. Remember her? Longtime subscribers will remember I used to talk about her quite a bit. So, I mean, people might not even know the reason why this channel is named Jester Bell is because of Harley Quinn. When I titled this channel, I was just so obsessed with her character, and I've just got myself at a different camera angle so I can show off, like, different artifacts I have for her. I have a whole shrine over there for classic Harley Quinn. So, yeah, I haven't talked about her in a while, and for those who don't know, this was my favorite character of all time. Nothing compared. Nothing compared to how much I was a fan of Harley Quinn. And what I would have to suffer shortly after I got into her with what DC would do to her. Through turning her into Deadpool, through changing every single aspect about her character, through putting her through the most disgusting comics. I did the fart fetish one this year. It honestly wasn't even the worst comic I've ever seen with her. Far from that. Far from that. Oh, I also brought up the fact that they did a recent Gotham City Sirens comic that one of the pages in it included Harley Quinn calling Poison Ivy, first time Poison Ivy appears in the book, to find her having sex with another woman. Poison Ivy is supposed to be her girlfriend, mind you, and Harley calls, says hi to the other girl, and asks if she can film them bumping beauties in the comic. If you're still watching me after this, thank you. Yeah, that is the kind of stuff they put the character in these days. They have thoroughly eviscerated this character in a way that I, as someone who is a fan of all these other franchises who've been eviscerated, I have never seen a character as destroyed as much as Harley Quinn. But the one thing you can hope for when a character has been destroyed that thoroughly is for it to go the way of Old Yeller. When something has become sick, you know that it's suffering, you know that it has to die. The best thing that can happen is for it to just go away entirely. And that might be what is finally happening with Harley Quinn. And so this video is going to kind of be a victory lap for me on that level. Because you can make as many awful things with Harley Quinn, not Harley Quinn, as you want. But if they don't sell, and that by extension means that you can't make much else, then what are you going to do? Because I also have done videos about how Harley Quinn was never as popular as they made her out to be. I mean, in the mid-2010s, of course, like what was going on with Suicide Squad 2016 and the comic sales and all of that, sure, absolutely. Harley was going through this sort of surge in the mid-2010s with her merchandise and all of that, where people just really became obsessed with her as, you know, this quirky, I'm crazy sort of icon for merchandise. So it was really the merchandise that fueled that. And that made it so that anything, whether it was the video games or the comics that had just turned her into Deadpool or Suicide Squad, which was even different from the comics, anything with her name printed on it sold. But I think that it was very much a fad, people being obsessed with the character, really spurred on by her merchandise and just everything that she was leaning into in the time. And so I've already done videos covering that she hasn't sold in years now, but she's really hit a new rock bottom as a character where through the years, people were always just arguing to me, well, her sales are still not as bad as you're making them out to be, or she still sells merchandise. Well, let's look at this, shall we? Because for the last 2 consecutive months, and Harley still has a solo series for some reason, and I've seen it fall off the top 200 comic book sales list before. For those who don't know, if you're not selling the top 100 comic book sales, then that means that your book is on cancellation numbers. But to not sell in the top 200, that's as bad as that one Tim Drake series that I think that lasted for very few amount of issues. That's as bad as that one Tim Drake series did. Harley Quinn has dropped off from the top 200 list of comic book sales before, but now it's gotten even worse, where for the last 2 consecutive months of her sales, she has been off of the list. So Harley Quinn's comic book no longer even sells in the top 200 comics anymore. As says from Comic Book Revolution, Harley Quinn number 52 was unranked for the 2nd consecutive month. Hiring a TV writer to write this comic was a stupid idea at the start and has only proven to be idiotic with each subsequent month. I am stunned that this title is performing as poorly as it did under Teenie Howard, who was the previous this writer. Look, we all know that DC Comics completely lost the plot with Harley Quinn years ago. It is just a shame to see what was once a popular character who had strong sales numbers become a pathetic shadow of herself. Well, I guess Fart Fetish Comics didn't make people want to buy this character anymore. Now, you might notice that this comic is on its 52nd issue, though, and some people use it to say, oh, that means that she's doing well. No, as this little excerpt indicates, she has not been selling well through any of this run, through any of the 3 writers who have tried to make it work. But why do they keep it going? In a similar question, they released a Gotham City Sirens comic to run throughout the August, and the first issue of that Gotham City Sirens Unfit for Orbit comic, that is the comic that had that Harley and Ivy 3-way moment, or implied moment that they wanted to be, that I was talking about, that had a debut in the number 172 spot, and the rest of its issues did similarly. And as Comic Book Revolution says, exactly why did they greenlight this book, and why did they hire this writer that doesn't sell? Because that's the thing. Harley Quinn books do not sell. None of them. They are sales poison at this point. But they keep running her solo series, and they keep greenlighting books. They recently greenlit another Harley and Ivy book, because that's all the characters are defined by anymore. Why would they do it? I don't understand why. For a while I thought that it was just because that Harley Quinn show was still running, but that is not the case anymore. I never thought that anyone was watching that Harley Quinn show, because it didn't take me a lot to figure out it's an R-rated show that is entirely defined by a fan service ship. Nobody's talking about it, but somehow it got to a 5th season. I think that was entirely due to James Gunn, because James Gunn said he was a fan of this show. It was in the wheelhouse of what he likes. He appeared in the show. I think the only reason it got to a 5th season is because he was advocating for it. But it was in a different place when James Gunn came on for DC, when they were kind of letting him do whatever he wanted, and that isn't the case anymore. A lot of his planned projects have been taken off the shelf, and it seems that the Harley Quinn show is not continuing. They got, once again, a 5th season somehow. It was supposed to come out last November. They delayed it. No one even talked about it all the way to January? And that show ended, I think, back in March. And it's been months and months and months since then, and no update whatsoever on another season for it. I mean, one of the showrunners said that they were developing ideas, but guys, you have to know what developing means. It means that they're thinking about what they would do for a potential another season. It does not mean that it's going to happen. And what's more evidence that this show has been canceled is not just the radio silence of it, but like the Instagram page that used to promote this show has now been rebranded, and it's just kind of about general Harley stuff, not just the show. And the Twitter page for this show has been put on lockdown for some time now. So yeah, I think that the Harley Quinn show, or as I call it, the Not Harley Quinn show, has been stealth canceled. Sort of like how Young Justice was, where they never gave an official announcement of it being canceled. They just kind of didn't say anything about it and just let it die. I think that is what has happened to the Harley Quinn show. And I'm relieved about that. You know why? Because I don't care what you think about that show. That show to me was what Velma is to Scooby-Doo fans. I don't care what you say about it. I never wanted to see Harley Quinn become this R-rated, F-bomb spewing character, gross out humor, all of this kind of stuff, as the Harley Quinn show did. And that's what it was. And that is part of what has become so changed about the character over the years, is they wanted to make her Deadpool, so Deadpool is R-rated and all of that, but Harley Quinn, the original version, had nothing to do with Deadpool. It's a completely different character now. I never wanted this to exist. And then the Harley Quinn show just became the Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy are dating show, and I don't want that either. And so I'm relieved. I'm relieved that it got canceled, but unfortunately, they spewed out so much of it. It's like, how do you contend with that? How do you rebrand the character again to anything before, after you have like 5 seasons of an R-rated show? That's the entire point of it, is to be vulgar and gross out after all of that. It seems that the Harley Quinn show is finally dead. At least there's not going to be anything more of it. And Harley Quinn comics don't sell, and meanwhile, it doesn't look like Harley Quinn is going to get an appearance in movies in a very long time. Margot Robbie said that James Gunn has never even discussed it with her of her coming back. And at this point, it doesn't seem like there's any really a place for her. James Gunn has come out and said that, they'll figure out what they're going to do with Batman in the DCU eventually, but he made it sound like it's far in the future, like they're not they are not in a rush to get that off the ground. So it doesn't seem like there's really a place for Harley to even appear. And I don't know how long James Gunn's DCU will even last, because even if they don't say it out loud, there are indications of Superman not being the success behind the scenes that they're making it seem like on the how they talk to people. Like, Superman on digital is already on sale. James Gunn used to talk about this as an interconnected universe with things like The Authority and Batman Brave of the Bold and all of that. Now he kind of makes it sound like plans for Batman are up in the air a bit, and there's a Superman family spinoff or sequel that we don't know what that is yet. And mainly what James Gunn has done is just a lot of his own stuff like Creature Commandos and Peacemaker, so it's like all of his R-rated niche stuff. It's not really an interconnected universe anymore. I don't know how long this universe is going to last, and therefore I don't know how Harley Quinn could appear in anything, and she definitely does not seem to be a priority in any way, shape, or form right now. DC in general is not the popular brand it was like 10 years ago. If a Superman movie that fans are considering this big success is only $600 million less than Man of Steel, I don't think the DC brand is strong. So I don't think that people really care about these characters in general, except for perhaps Batman. But I don't know how much demand there is for anything Harley Quinn. So yes, it does seem that Harley Quinn has finally reached rock bottom as a character where she's just irrelevant and no one's talking about her except me doing this video just to get a little closure from it all. But yeah, I guess it brings me back to the other question. So if she is not selling in any of these other ways and doesn't really have anything else out there, why are there still comics that absolutely, provably do not sell? I think that there's probably some sort of agenda behind the scenes with her. Maybe it's because, like, she still sells merchandise, which I can't confirm those sales. I'll just say that DC in general sells more merchandise than Marvel, so there'll always be some Harley Quinn merchandise. I don't see evidence of why DC would still have to put out unsellable books or any of the choices that they've made with her if it was about merchandise, though. I just think that, I don't know, maybe they want revenge on fans of the original Harley, and that's why they want to bring this up. People might say that's ridiculous. I legitimately started to think that at some point. Maybe they just want an outlet for people to publish Harley and Ivy books. Maybe that's it. I don't know. But what's the point of publishing these books as essentially waste paper if they're not going to sell? If they're not selling anything, guys, below 200, that's nothing. That's no sales. So it's basically as if these books don't exist. So I guess make them. You're just wasting paper all you want. But it's a little bit of closure for me because of everything that I've seen them do to this character and just torture her throughout the years, that I got told so many things about myself. I got told that this direction was what was going to make her more popular. I got told that everyone loves this. I got told that the version that I like of the character was stupid and irrelevant and shallow, which actually she wasn't. So I got told all those horrible things about this character I love and all of these justifications for all the changes made to her. But turns out it was a dead end. No one actually likes this. No one was actually watching the Harley Quinn show enough to even watch the latter seasons and keep it on. I think that it was just James Gunn keeping it on. They just threw that season 5 out there and no one talked about it. No one cared about that. No one reads her comics. No one cared about the Birds of Prey movie. All the stuff that they did with this new version apart from comics, all this stuff that they had planned for her just wound up bombing eventually. But the unfortunate thing is, even if there weren't high viewership or sales with any of this, there was certainly a lot spewed out there. So I'm not expecting Harley to ever come back. The last thing I want to do with this character is do a video talking about what I saw in the original character and why I saw depth to the original character and why I would become so emotionally attached. But other than that, at least it's a relief to know that no, this was not popular, this was not successful, and there's gonna, no matter how many comics they still, I guess, feel like they can spew out, at least apart from that, there's not going to be anything more with her for a very long time. So that's a big relief to me. And this video was made entirely for myself. This is just me talking about how I personally feel about it. A bit uncensored, I guess. So that is that. That is just me kind of gloating in the end that now all of this Harley stuff is dead. So thank you all for watching, and if you are a person who loved the original Harley Quinn as I did and feel like I do about all the new stuff, let me know in the comments below how you feel about it. Do you feel any closure to know that they're gonna stop doing a lot of this stuff with her because they quite literally can't afford to do anything more with her apart from releasing comics that no one reads? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know if there's any other kind of videos you're interested in me talking about for September, and I will see you guys next time.